What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If I sound weird, it's because I'm getting over a cold that I just had. But today, we are putting those parts on that Jeep. Alright, so for those that don't know, the Jeep is my daily now, so I picked it up. I don't even know if it's been a month yet, but the first thing we're gonna do to it is, well actually the second thing, because I got the windows tinted because that was a must, but we're gonna go ahead and swap out the radio in it. The radio is the stock radio, is trash. And I picked up an Android radio I found on Amazon. Hopefully it's a decent radio because I know that those Android radios are like hit or miss, but anything's gotta be better than that stock one that's in there. Not only did I pick up a radio, I actually picked up a sub enclosure that fits 2 10s, and I got some subs down there, the wiring and all that stuff, and the amp and whatnot. I'm not super huge on like having a sound system or anything, but the sound in the Jeep is pretty trash. It's pretty bad. So I picked up all this stuff. I picked up the subs and the sub enclosure from this place called Scar Audio. I had never heard of them before, but a couple friends told me that they purchased stuff from them. Quality is cool and everything. I've been out of the music game as far as upgrading sound systems in cars for a long time, because that's just not what I do. I like to go fast. This really isn't gonna go fast, at least not for a long time. So let's go ahead and actually set this tripod up so I can go ahead and open up these boxes and see what everything looks like. So the radio has like an 11.5 inch screen, which is pretty nice. The radio itself costs about $250. They had an option with a backup camera for like an additional $10, but I knew I wasn't gonna install the backup camera, so I didn't get it. It does have CarPlay and Android Auto, which is good, which is one of the reasons why I got it. And I'll be sure to link it in the description so that way if you guys want it, you can pick it up yourself. So we're gonna start there, actually, putting the radio in. I'll watch a couple videos on how to do it. Doesn't seem too bad. Hopefully it fits nice. So let's go ahead and knock this out. Basically, from what I saw to get started, there's like, after you pull this little cup holder thing, or whatever you wanna call it, out, there's a 7mm bolt there. You have to pop out the window switches here, and there should be, I think, a bolt there. And this whole piece, I think, has to come out. Like, this all comes out as one piece from here over to the driver's side. So, I don't know, we'll figure it out. After the window switches come out, there's a 7mm bolt right here at the bottom. Looks like the trim underneath the steering wheel has to come out as well. Then there's 2 more 7mm bolts, one on each side of the steering wheel. All right, with the trim piece out, we have access to the radio. So there's 4 7mm bolts holding the radio in. So let's go ahead and pop those out, and we should be able to pop out this radio. And I'm assuming behind it, of course, we have the harness. So I'll have to unplug that and unplug the antenna as well. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Pretty easy. Probably one of the easier radios I've ever removed from a car. Before I go ahead and start installing the subs and the sub enclosure, all that stuff, I'm gonna power up the radio, make sure that it works properly before I go any further. Oh, I don't know which way is the right way. Oh yeah, really quick. So it comes with all the wiring and everything, like the harness that you need, so that way the radio works in the car as well. It comes with a bunch of stuff, actually, some of which we probably won't use, but it does have the canvas so that way we can retain our steering wheel controls and stuff. It's got the external microphone, which is cool. I will probably use that. Well, it even came with a little screwdriver, which is kind of cool. All right, I got everything hooked up or ran as I like it, I believe. So the GPS antenna is gonna sit over there in the corner. I ran the external mic down here underneath. I don't have it mounted yet. I just kind of have it hanging until we put everything back together. That way I know it's gonna work. It came with an antenna adapter. I got that plugged in, and all the wiring in the back of the radio is all set up to go as well. So let's go ahead, plug it in, and try to power it up. But the radio's huge, boots up pretty quick, it doesn't take too long, and it's pretty responsive, which I like. I wish it didn't stick out that far, but it's not too hateful. Now comes the fun part, which is installing the subwoofers. I don't want to mount this up totally until I have those, because I still need access to the back of this radio. So let's go ahead, crack open those boxes for the enclosure and the subs, and let's see what we got in there. Subs, the amp wiring kit, and the amplifier itself. Well, they got a ton of different options, but I'll list these that I got in the description, so that way if you guys want them, you can pick them up, or you can browse and see if you guys want something bigger, something smaller, whatever the case may be. But next, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this box that has the sub enclosure that's made specifically for the JK. As you can see, this was made specifically for the Jeep, sits in the back, and the benefit to having one that is made specific to the vehicle is that it saves you a bunch of space. You don't have like a bunch of unused space or unusable space when you get one that actually fits the vehicle. So. As you can see, it fits in there perfectly, just like we expected. I'm going to pull it back out, go ahead and mount the subs in there, and figure out what I'm going to do as far as mounting the amp. Got to get all the wires ran, but yeah. Now, unfortunately, it didn't come with any hardware, so I had to make a run and grab some self-tapping screws from AutoZone really quick. Hopefully these are long enough, but yeah, that is the one downside. They didn't come with any hardware to mount this and the amp, but these should do just fine. Alright, so the subs are secure in the box. The box has been placed in the Jeep. And also all the wires have been ran except for the ground wires. I'll show you really quick how I ran everything. So the RCA cables obviously plug into the back of the radio. So those I ran kind of behind the glove box. I actually tucked it in on the side here. So that along with the remote wire. Now for the power wire, it's up to the left of the brake pedal. So it goes across the back of the firewall. And like I said, it comes through right down there and over to the battery. After I make sure everything works, I'm gonna tuck it underneath here. But I ran it through underneath the carpet all the way to the back. So now all that's left is to basically connect everything to the amp. It's been well over a month, which is great because I can give you guys my honest opinion about the radio. Now for the money, I think it's great. Some of the other radios that you can purchase for the Wrangler, I will say, are much higher quality, but the price is much higher as well. So I mentioned it earlier, this was only $250 with the option to pay an additional $10 to get the backup camera, which I didn't do because I'm not gonna use it. Now some of those higher end radios run about $600, $700 I've seen, which I guess at the end of the day, you get what you pay for is what they say, but I'm not spending $600 on a radio. That's just my personal preference. I don't shame anyone who does, but that's just not me. For the most part, it runs pretty smooth. All the apps that I try to use seem to work with no problem. It doesn't take long to connect in most cases. This is already connected, but maybe just a couple seconds. I will say that every now and then it gives me an issue as far as connecting, but for me, that's what I expect from an Android head unit. I will say that once the Evo 10 is back on the road, I'm 100% gonna get a radio that has CarPlay. Now, some of my issues with the radio, the cooling fan in the back is a bit loud. I'm sure you can hear it. And not only that, but sometimes it does lag or go a little bit slower than I would like. But again, it's an Android unit, so I kind of expected that sometimes. It's not all the time. And because of those two things, I'm gonna give this radio a solid, probably like 7.5 out of 10. It's worth the money for me and it does what I need it to do. Now the subwoofers, they work great. I'm not gonna play any music for obvious reasons. So far, I haven't had any issues whatsoever with the subs. Given the cost, I think they were 100% worth it. I can't remember the total cost, but I think it was around $600 total. But check the description because I'll have those linked down there. I hope this video is helpful. Hopefully gave you some idea of what you want to do with your Jeep. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. For now, because this is my daily, I'm not going to do anything too crazy to the Jeep, but I am planning on changing out the lighting, so headlights, taillights, both the front and rear bumpers, fenders. I do want to add a light bar because at some point I honestly do believe that I'll take this on a trailer too, and I do want the Jeep to go a little bit higher. So if you're into Jeeps or Evos, stay tuned for that. Turn on notifications and I'll see you guys in the next video.